Grade 3, I welcome you to today's English lesson. This week we've been reading the paired selection for lesson 16. The lesson was called My Smelly Pet by Judy Moody. Today's learning objective is to use context to understand the meanings of unknown words. So let's have a look what is meant by context or context clues. Please do not forget to pause this video and replay it for better understanding. At what is meant by context clues. I'm going to read this sentence out for you, and we're going to look into the word suffers, and we're going to try to figure out the meaning of this word. So the sentence is, my friend from Brazil really suffers from the cold during our Chicago winters. And if you're wondering what the word suffers mean, well, you can look into clues within this sentence or the passage that surrounds this sentence to figure out the meaning of this unfamiliar word. This is all what's meant by context clues. It's like you are looking for a treasure and you're looking at hints within the sentence in order to figure out the meaning. Let's have a closer view of the technique in the next slide. Grade 3, so let's look into the technique of figuring out meaning of a word that you're not aware of. And there are 3 techniques that I've jotted down on this slide. The first thing you can do is that you can look into clues within the same sentence where the new word is and the sentences around it. The second thing you can do is that you can think about how the word is being used in the sentence, and you can figure out a clue, thereby the meaning. And the last thing I've written down here is that you can think about the main idea and details of the story in order to figure out the meaning of this new word. Alright, grade 3, so talking about techniques, let's look at 5 more techniques using this mnemonic that I personally prefer using when I'm looking to find out the meaning of a word that's unknown to me in a given sentence. So I want you to pause this video and read through the examples for each of this technique. So the first thing is logic, where you're going to make a logic whether the word makes some sense and fits into the sentence. For instance, let me read the sentence for you. I know Miss Hart will want to help with the food drive. Help, okay? She's very compassionate. So definitely compassionate is a person who's very passionate and loves compassion, loves to help people, because I can see that it definitely makes sense that this is what the word compassionate might mean. So use logic. So in the mnemonic leads, the first L is for logic. The second letter E, examples. Let's read. Miss Hart is a compassionate person and volunteers at the food bank. So I don't know the meaning of the word compassionate. However, I see that she volunteers at the food bank. Volunteers, that means she likes to help. So this is a helpful person. This is a compassionate person. And therefore, I derive a meaning in my brain. Next is antonyms. And here you can see that the sentence given is, Miss Hart is compassionate, but her sister is uncaring. Now, sometimes this happens. And the word but here basically points out at, oh, well, there is something coming up. So when I read the sentence and I see that but her sister, a clause, and a sister is uncaring, definitely that means compassionate is a word that definitely means opposite of the word uncaring. Okay. Next, definition. So in the leads, D is the definitions, and let's read the sentence. You can tell Miss Hart is compassionate by the way she treats everyone kindly. Now here they're basically explaining what the word compassionate means. When they say by the way she treats everyone kindly is basically defining the entire word compassionate. So sometimes this is how you could derive a meaning of a word. And then last but not least, synonyms. Here you can see that we're looking for similar words within the same sentence. Miss Hart is compassionate and is caring to others. So there you go. That word compassionate definitely means caring. Alright, so this is a way you can figure out the meaning of words through clues within the context. Okay, now let's go ahead. Alright, grade 3, it's time to open our R&B books, volume 2 to page number 11. Let's have a closer review and read the instructions. Well, we need to write the meaning of the underlined word as it is used in each sentence. Okay, so I need to write the meaning of the word. Perfect. And then what's the second instruction? Circle the words that help you know the meaning of the underlined word. Oh, okay, so they're asking me to circle the words that help me figure out the meaning of the underlined word. All right, so they're looking for the meaning, but they also want you to point out how did you come about figuring that this is what this word meant. So they're looking for context clues too. Great, so let's read the first sentence. One weekend each fall, our family goes on a yearly camp out. All right, yearly. And if they're asking for the meaning of the word yearly, well, one weekend each fall. All right, so each fall and just 1 weekend each fall. Sounds like this is where my context clue is. And then yearly, because this is something about the time frame. 1 weekend each fall and then yearly. All right, that means it happens once in a year, right? 1 weekend each fall, right? And we know that fall comes once. This is one of the seasons. So one fall, 1 year, and 1 weekend means happens once in a year that the family goes for a camp out. Perfect. You see how context clues are used? Let's go through the second one. When it gets dark, we gather kindling to start a campfire. Okay, kindling, I don't know what it means. When it gets dark, okay, so that's something like nighttime. We gather kindling, gather. Okay, so it's dark time and the gathering to start a campfire. So kindling helps start a campfire. So my understanding here is that for me, gather means it's something that I'm going to take all together, and that's going to help me to start a campfire. And the answer is twigs and woods, because definitely you can gather twigs and wood to burn. All right, third, last year our tent was leaky, rain dripped in while we were sleeping. Last year our tent was leaky. Perfect. Rain dripped in while we were sleeping. Rain dripped? Leaky? Okay, these are two sentences. I'm looking at the sentence that's right next to my underlined word leaky, and I think that this is where my clue is. Rain drip. Leaky means letting liquid inside. So here it's leaky. This is what it is, leaky. Or outside, for the matter of fact. If you have a leaky bottle, it'll just leak the water outside, right? All right. All right, let's read the fourth statement. Our new tent is made from recycled bottles. Our new tent is made from recycled bottles. Bottles. Perfect. Now, what is the clue here? I think the word bottles is my clue. Because how can you make a tent? Well, this word recycle, if I don't know the meaning, it definitely, if they had to write something like new or something, I would have known the word. So recycled, and my clue here is bottle. Recycle means, and the word recycle, it's very obvious. I can also look into the base word here, the root word here, which is recycle. Re means again, and then cycle, it's like cyclic pattern. So yeah, the word probably means made from things that have been used before. All right, let's look at the fifth sentence here. This year, we forgot to put our garbage in the trash can with a lid. This year, we forgot to put our garbage. Let's assume you don't know what the word garbage means, in the trash can with a lid. All right, self-explanatory. This is more like a word that's explained. It's being defined right after it's used in a sentence. Trash can. So trash, garbage, it probably means trash, right? All right, grade 3. Let's go to the next half of this page. All right, grade 3, I want you to attempt finding out the context clues for these 5 last sentences given on the same page. Pause this video, try attempting at it, and then I'll share the answers, and let's see if you've got the correct answers. Now, as far as the meanings are concerned, you could use a dictionary, an online dictionary, and if you have a dictionary, that's great. You can look for these words and find their meanings out, but don't forget to circle the context clue. Let's see how you do it. All right, I'm assuming that you've paused this video. You did pause this video and you tried, and here are your answers. For the first sentence, sentence 6, a raccoon gobbled up the food we threw away. Gobbled up. And here, gobbled up was the underlined word. For some unknown reason, I don't have it underlined here, but the word was gobbled up, and the answer is 8. Gobble means to eat, or 8. My brother and I quarreled with loud voices over who was supposed to put the lid on the trash can. Okay, loud voices. With loud voices over who was supposed to. I can make it out that quarrel probably means something like an argument. So, argued. Pop got us, this is sentence 8. Pop got us to stop fighting when he suggested that we all go fishing. So everybody stopped fighting when Pop suggested something. So we all go fishing, suggestion, and then someone goes somewhere. So this probably means recommendation, or recommended that we do it, like an idea to stop them from fighting. So here my clue was we all go fishing. We got the necessary gear to catch fish and headed to the pond. Okay, necessary. And the context clue was gear to catch fish. And necessary means needed or required. We were sad to see the pollution in the pond. Alright. In the pond and pollution, and they're sad to see something in the pond. Well, that's probably pollution. That's my clue. And pollution is trash, basically, rubbish. So I hope you got all of these right. Alright, so today's task is to simply finish this work that's being assigned on page number 11 in your R&B volume 2, and when you're done, please don't forget to leave a comment. If you've got any queries, do not forget to ask. Best of luck, grade 3.